The man isn't breathing. Keisha Langford's hands push down on his chest, hard, and his ribs resist like they might crack. 1, 2, 3. She counts out loud. Her voice cuts through air that feels too thick to breathe. He's dead, not dying. Dead, no pulse, no breath. Skin already cooling under her palms. Around her, 50 people watch, phones out, cameras recording. Mouths open in silent horror. Not one of them kneeling. 15, 16, 17. Her shoulders scream. Sweat drips down her temples. The restaurant floor is cold and hard under her knees, but she doesn't feel it anymore. Just the rhythm, just the count, just the desperate hope that 30 compressions and 2 breaths will be enough. Someone call 911, she shouts between counts. A woman near the bar fumbles with her phone, drops it, picks it up, stares at the screen like she forgot how to dial. No one else moves. 28, 29, 30. Keisha tilts the stranger's head back, seals her mouth over his, breathes. His chest rises, falls. Nothing happens. Welcome back, my amazing Pride family. Your unwavering support means everything to me, and I'm beyond grateful for each of you. Every day, I strive to improve and bring you the best stories because I know you deserve nothing less. If this is your first time here, I encourage you to leave a comment telling me where you're watching from and hit that subscribe button. By doing so, you become part of this incredible journey, and together we'll continue sharing stories that matter. I can't do this without you, so let's get into today's story. Back to compressions. 1, 2, 3. The man in the expensive black suit collapsed 60 seconds ago, maybe less. Time moves strange when someone's dying in front of you. She didn't see him fall, didn't hear the glass shatter when it slipped from his hand. Just heard the chaos, the screams, the gasps, the scrambling, and turned to find him sprawled on the tile like a puppet with cut strings. Nobody was helping. So she did. 10, 11, 12. Her arms burn. Every compression feels like lifting weights she doesn't have the strength for. But stopping isn't an option. It was never an option. Does she even know what she's doing? A man's voice drifts from somewhere behind her. Doubt wrapped in judgment. Keisha doesn't respond. Can't waste breath on people too scared to kneel. A phone hovers inches from her face. Recording. She sees it in her peripheral vision. A teenage girl filming, eyes wide, mouth moving silently as she narrates for her followers. Keisha ignores her. 24, 25, 26. The stranger's face is pale, Asian, Korean, maybe. Mid-30s, sharp features, expensive haircut. The kind of man who probably never waited for anything in his life. Now he's waiting for air he can't pull into his lungs. 30. She breathes for him again. His lips are cold, lifeless. She tastes nothing but fear. Back to compressions. Her vision blurs at the edges. Her muscles tremble. How long has she been doing this? A minute? 5? Forever? Somewhere distant, sirens wail. They're coming, someone says. Relieved, like help arriving means she can stop. She doesn't stop. 5, 6, 7. Around her, the restaurant holds its breath. Waitresses frozen with trays in their hands. Cooks peering through the kitchen window. Customers standing on chairs to see better. A crowd of witnesses. 0 participants. 14, 15, 16. Keisha's hands slip. She repositions. Keeps going. Her uniform sticks to her back. Her throat is raw from counting. Come on, she whispers. Please. The stranger doesn't respond. 28, 29, 30. She breathes for him and prays it's enough. Because the math is simple and brutal. Every second without oxygen kills brain cells. Every compression that doesn't restart his heart brings him closer to permanent damage. She's fighting death with bare hands and borrowed air. And death doesn't negotiate. Back to compressions. 1, 2, 3. Her arms shake violently now. She's running on fumes and adrenaline. How many rounds has she done? 6, 8. The paramedics need to get here soon. 10, 11, 12. But even as exhaustion claws at her, even as her body begs to stop, Keisha keeps pushing, because somewhere beneath her palms, a heart waits to beat, and 50 people watch, recording, judging, doing nothing, while one exhausted waitress refuses to let a stranger die. 3 hours before the man stops breathing, Keisha's alarm screams at 5:47 a.m. She doesn't hit snooze. Rent doesn't care if she's tired. Her apartment is a shoebox with peeling paint and a water stain on the ceiling that looks like a fist. The walls are thin enough that she hears her neighbor's television through the plaster. Every single night. Her cousin Janae sleeps on the pull-out couch. 14. Asthmatic. Dependent. Keisha moves through the dark like a ghost. Shower. 4 minutes. Coffee. Instant. Black. Uniform already pressed because mornings don't wait. The rent notice sits on the counter. Final notice. 7 days. She doesn't pick it up. Reading it twice won't change the number. Her phone buzzes. Manager, Tanya called out. Need you for lunch shift. Of course she did. Keisha's fingers hover over the screen. She could say no. Could take one morning for herself. Could breathe without someone else's emergency sitting on her chest. She types, I'll be there. She always says yes. Yes to extra shifts. Yes to covering breaks. Yes to mopping floors when the dishwasher quits. Because no means Janae's inhaler prescription stays at the pharmacy. No means eviction. No is a privilege for people with savings accounts and backup plans. Keisha has neither. She used to have dreams, real ones, nursing school, scrubs that smelled like antiseptic instead of fryer grease, a job where saving lives was the purpose, not an accident. But her mother died when Keisha was 23. Breast cancer, fast and brutal, left nothing but medical bills and a terrified teenager who needed someone to show up. So Keisha showed up. Dreams don't survive that kind of math. Before leaving, she checks on Janae. The girl's chest rises and falls, steady, peaceful. Her inhaler sits on the nightstand within reach. Keisha leaves $20 on the counter. $20 she can't afford. But love doesn't calculate cost. The bus ride downtown takes 40 minutes. She stands the whole way. No seats. Bodies packed shoulder to shoulder. Outside the window, Los Angeles wakes up in pieces. Coffee shops opening, traffic building. People rushing toward lives that look easier than hers feels. She doesn't resent them. Just wonders what breathing feels like without weight pressing permanent on your lungs. The restaurant's back entrance smells like sesame oil and yesterday's mistakes. She clocks in at 9:58 a.m., 2 minutes early. Her manager Derek doesn't say thank you, just hands her a section and walks away. Keisha ties her apron, checks her order pad, straightens her uniform. Another day of being invisible, another day of surviving. She has no idea that in 4 hours, she'll kneel on cold tile and breathe life into a stranger's lungs. No idea that 50 people will watch her fight death alone. No idea that saving one man will put a target on her back she never asked for. Right now, at 9:58 a.m. on a Tuesday morning, Keisha Langford is just a waitress trying not to drown. By 2:37 p.m., the entire world will know her name. He doesn't look like someone who dies in restaurants. Even unconscious, sprawled on tile with his suit jacket twisted and his expensive watch reflecting fluorescent lights, There's something controlled about him, deliberate, like his body forgot how to surrender, but his mind still hasn't agreed. Keisha sees it while her hands compress his chest. His knuckles are scarred, not paper-cut scars, fight scars, old ones that healed white against tan skin, small nicks along his fingers, a burn near his wrist that looks like it hurt when it happened. These aren't the hands of someone who only signs checks and shakes palms at charity dinners. These are hands that have worked, fought, survived things that left marks. His face is angular, sharp jaw, high cheekbones, black hair cut so precise that even collapsed. Not a strand falls wrong. Mid-30s, maybe older. Hard to tell when someone isn't breathing. His suit costs more than Keisha makes in 2 months. She knows this without knowing fashion. The fabric doesn't wrinkle. The stitching is perfect. The buttons are real horn, not plastic. But it's not the suit that makes people react strange. It's him. A man at the bar, older, grey-haired, eating alone. Goes completely still when the stranger collapses. His fork stops mid-air. His eyes widen. Then he stands, drops cash on his table. Doesn't wait for change, just leaves, fast. A woman in the corner booth pulls out her phone, stares at the unconscious man, makes a call. Her voice is low, urgent. Keisha can't hear the words, but the fear is clear. This isn't just someone having a heart attack. The paramedics arrive in 7 minutes. They move faster than normal. One of them, stocky guy, buzz cut, military posture, takes one look at the stranger's face and his expression changes. Locks down. Radio dispatch, he says to his partner. Voice clipped. Presbyterian Hospital, priority transport. The second paramedic, a woman with exhausted eyes, pauses. Presbyterian, that's across town. County's closer. Presbyterian, now. No explanation, just orders. They work with precision that feels practiced. IV line, oxygen mask. Vitals checked twice. The whole time they use language that sounds coded. Status Alpha. Confirmed. Route secured. Clear the corridor. Keisha watches from the floor, hands still shaking, heart still racing. She doesn't understand what she's hearing, but she knows it's wrong. Normal people don't get priority transport. Normal people go to the closest hospital. As they lift him onto the stretcher, his eyes flutter open, just for a second, weak, confused, struggling to focus. They find Keisha, lock on her face. His lips move, barely. No sound comes out, but she reads the shape. Thank you. Then his eyes close and the paramedics wheel him toward the exit. One of them, the woman, stops beside Keisha, looks at her with something between gratitude and warning. You saved his life, she says quietly. Keisha nods. Can't speak yet, throat too tight. The paramedic hesitates, glances at the doors where the stranger just disappeared, then back. Be careful. The words land wrong. What? But the paramedic is already moving. Doors swing shut. Sirens wail. Gone. Keisha stands in the middle of the restaurant, surrounded by phones and stares and whispers she can't quite hear, and wonders why saving a life would come with a warning. She won't wonder long. 10 minutes after the ambulance leaves, the restaurant sounds normal again. Forks scraping plates, conversations resuming. Someone laughs, loud, wrong, like death didn't just walk through the room. Keisha stands near the kitchen entrance, frozen. Her manager Derek appears, mid-40s, thinning hair, stress lines carved deep around his mouth. You okay? She nods, doesn't trust her voice. Good. He shifts his weight, uncomfortable. Listen, Table 7 needs their check. Table 12 ordered 20 minutes ago. Think you can handle your section? Keisha stares at him. No take a break. No sit down. No, what you just did was incredible. Just back to work. Like CPR was the same as refilling water glasses. Yeah, she hears herself say. I can handle it. Great, you're a lifesaver. He realizes what he said, winces. Poor choice of words. Anyway, he's gone before she finishes processing. Keisha moves toward the bathroom on autopilot. Her legs feel disconnected from her body. Her hands won't stop shaking. Inside, she grips the sink edge, stares at her reflection. Her uniform is wrinkled. Something dark smudges her collar, sweat, maybe blood, maybe both. Her face looks pale under harsh lights. Her eyes are too wide. Startled animal eyes. She turns the water on. Cold. Lets it run over her hands until the trembling stops. The door opens. A woman walks in. Designer purse. Perfect makeup. Customer who watched. Oh my God, that was amazing. The woman's voice is breathless, excited. I got the whole thing on video. You're totally going viral. Do you have Instagram? Keisha's stomach drops. No. It's already at 200,000 views. People are sharing it everywhere. The woman beams. Like this is good news. You're going to be famous. Famous. For doing what anyone should have done. The woman leaves. Keisha stays at the sink, gripping porcelain until her knuckles go white. No one else checks on her. No applause. No gratitude from management. Just strangers who turn tragedy into content. She dries her hands, straightens her uniform, reties her apron, walks back onto the floor because rent is still due in 7 days, because Janny's prescription costs $80 she doesn't have, because life doesn't pause for heroes, especially invisible ones. She picks up her order pad, takes a deep breath, and goes back to work. Outside, across the city, in a hospital room she'll never see. The man she saved is waking up, and learning his collapse wasn't an accident, and asking only one question. Who was she? Minjun's chest feels like someone split it open with an axe. Every breath is agony. Every heartbeat reminds him he almost didn't get another one. The hospital ceiling is white, sterile, too bright. He's alive. He shouldn't be. Memory comes back in fragments. The restaurant, glass of water, sudden fire spreading through his chest, his vision tunneling, floor rushing up, then nothing. No, not nothing. A voice, firm, urgent, cutting through chaos. Call 911. Tell them he's not breathing. Hands on his chest, relentless, refusing to let him go. Someone breathing life back into dead lungs. A stranger who wouldn't let him die. Minjun tries to sit up. Pain explodes through his ribs. He falls back, gasping. Don't move. The voice comes from the corner. He turns his head slowly. Every muscle protests. Choi stands by the window. Early 40s, sharp suit, expression carved from granite. How long? Minjun's voice sounds like gravel. 6 hours. You collapsed at 2:37 p.m. Cardiac arrest. 4 minutes without oxygen. Choi steps closer. His eyes are hard. Clinical. Should have caused brain damage. Should have. Should have killed you. Choi's jaw tightens. Someone performed CPR. Kept you alive until paramedics arrived. The woman. Minjun closes his eyes. The memory sharpens. Black woman. Late 20s. Uniform stained with kitchen smells. Exhausted eyes that didn't hesitate. She didn't ask questions. Didn't wait for permission. Just acted. Who is she? Keisha Langford. 28. Waitress. No record, no connections, nobody. Nobody. The word sits wrong in Minjun's chest. She saved my life, he says quietly. Choi doesn't blink. Your collapse wasn't random. Every nerve in Minjun's body goes cold. What? The water tested positive for tetrodotoxin, pufferfish poison. Microscopic dose. Mimics cardiac arrest perfectly. Untraceable unless you're specifically looking. The room tilts. Someone tried to kill him. Not with bullets. Not with blades. With something invisible. Public. Designed to look natural. Who? Minjun's voice is steel now. All weakness burned away. Working on it. Could be Park's faction, the Russians, internal challengers. Choi pulls out a tablet, swipes through faces. You've made enemies in every direction. Minjun's hands curl into fists. Pain shoots through his chest. He ignores it. 15 years. That's how long he's built his empire. 15 years of strategy, sacrifice, and survival. 15 years of making hard choices that kept him breathing, and someone almost ended it with poisoned water. Double security. Audit every supplier, every contact point. His voice is cold, controlled. I want names. Already done. Choi hesitates. Rare. There's a complication. What complication? The waitress, Keisha Langford. Choi swipes to a new image. Surveillance footage. She's on her knees, hands on Minjun's chest, face locked in desperate concentration. The video went viral. 4 million views. People are calling her a hero. Minjun stares at the screen. She didn't know who he was. Didn't care. Saw someone dying. Helped. That simple. In Minjun's world, people don't help without reason, without angle, without calculating what they'll get in return. Kindness is currency. Loyalty is bought. Nothing is free, except her actions were. She risked herself, her time, her energy, maybe her job, for a stranger, because it was right, not profitable, not strategic, right. Find her, Minjun says. Choi nods. Expected this. And when we do? Minjun leans back. His body is broken. His chest screams. But his mind, sharp, dangerous, built from years of survival, is already moving. Make sure she's protected. From who? Minjun meets Choi's eyes. The answer hangs heavy between them. From everyone who wants me dead. Because if someone tried to kill him once, they know someone saved him. And in his world, that makes her a witness, a complication, a target. Keisha Langford saved his life in front of 50 people. Now Minjun has to save hers, before his enemies find her first. 3 days after saving a stranger's life, Keisha's world starts closing in. The video has 12 million views now. She didn't post it, didn't want it. But the internet doesn't ask permission. Her face is everywhere. Reddit threads, Twitter, TikTok compilations with dramatic music, comment sections calling her a hero, an angel, a symbol. She feels none of those things, just exhausted. Janae sits on the couch, scrolling through her phone. You're literally famous. People are making edits of you. Great. Keisha doesn't look up from the bills spread across the kitchen table. Electric, water, rent, still overdue. The numbers don't care about viral videos. Her phone buzzes. Again. Unknown number. The 7th one today. She declines the call. You should answer, Janae says. What if it's important? If it's important, they'll leave a message. No one leaves messages, just calls. Over and over. Different numbers, different area codes. It started yesterday. First one came at 6 a.m., then 3 more before lunch. By evening, her phone wouldn't stop buzzing. She blocked 6 numbers. 7 more appeared. Now she's sitting at her kitchen table at 9 p.m., staring at bills she can't pay, while strangers hunt for ways to reach her. The knock at the door makes her jump. Jani looks up. You expecting someone? No. Another knock. Firm. Patient. Keisha moves to the door, checks the peephole. A man stands in the hallway. 30s, suit, hands clasped in front of him, not aggressive, just waiting. She doesn't open the door. "Can I help you?" she calls through the wood. "Ms. Langford," his voice is calm, polite. "My name is David Chen. I work for someone who'd like to speak with you." Her stomach tightens. "I'm not interested. It's regarding the man you saved. He'd like to thank you personally." The man from the restaurant. Keisha's hand hovers over the deadbolt. Part of her is curious. Most of her is tired. "Tell him he doesn't owe me anything." Silence. Then, "He understands, but he'd still like to speak with you, at your convenience, no pressure." "I'm not interested," she repeats, firmer this time. Another pause. "Understood. I'll leave my card under your door, if you change your mind." Footsteps retreat down the hallway. Keisha waits, watches through the peephole until he disappears around the corner. A business card slides under her door. Cream-colored, expensive paper. Just a name and a phone number. No company, no title, nothing. She picks it up, stares at it. Janae appears beside her. "Who was that?" "No one." "Keisha." "It's fine." She tosses the card on the counter, goes back to the bills, but her hands shake now, because something feels wrong. The calls, the man at her door, the way that paramedic said be careful. Saving someone shouldn't come with consequences, shouldn't make strangers track you down, shouldn't feel dangerous. Her phone buzzes again. Unknown number. This time she answers. "Hello?" Silence, then breathing. Slow, deliberate. "Miss Langford." The voice is male, unfamiliar, cold. "You should have minded your own business." The line goes dead. Keisha's blood turns to ice. Across the city, in a penthouse with bulletproof windows, Minjun gets the report. "They know who she is," Choi says quietly. Minjun's jaw tightens. "Then we move. Now." The cafe is small, quiet. The kind of place that doesn't exist on Instagram. Keisha chose it deliberately. Public, neutral. Escape routes on both sides. She doesn't know why she's here. Doesn't know why she called the number on the card. Doesn't know why a single threatening phone call made her reconsider meeting the man she saved. Maybe because the voice on the phone wasn't asking for money, wasn't asking for anything, just threatening. And that felt different, worse. She sits near the window, coffee untouched, hands wrapped around the cup for warmth she doesn't actually need. The door opens at exactly 2 p.m. He walks in alone, the man from the restaurant, the one who stopped breathing under her hands. He looks different, vertical, alive, taller than she expected, controlled posture, expensive suit that fits like it was made for him specifically. His face is the same, sharp features, dark eyes, presence that fills space without effort. But there's something else now. Careful awareness, like he's cataloging every exit, every person, every potential threat. He spots her immediately, walks over, stops a respectful distance from the table. "Miss Langford." His voice is quiet, accented, Korean, but his English is perfect. "Thank you for agreeing to meet." "I didn't agree to anything." Keisha's tone is flat. "I'm here, that's all." He nods, doesn't sit. "May I?" She gestures to the chair across from her. He sits slowly, deliberately, keeping his hands visible on the table. Up close, she sees details she missed before. The scar along his jawline, the way his eyes don't quite relax, the controlled breathing of someone who learned to manage fear by eliminating it. "My name is Minjun," he says. "I owe you my life. You don't owe me anything." "I do." His tone leaves no room for argument. "You saved me when no one else moved. That debt isn't negotiable." Keisha's fingers tighten around her cup. "I didn't do it for gratitude. I did it because you were dying and I knew CPR. That's all. I understand. He pauses, weighs his next words, carefully. But circumstances have changed. Her stomach tightens. What circumstances? The reason I collapsed. He meets her eyes, steady, honest. It wasn't medical. It was intentional. The cafe suddenly feels too small. Someone tried to kill you? Yes. In a public restaurant? Yes. Keisha leans back, processes this. And you're telling me because they know you saved me. Minjun's expression doesn't change. And that makes you a complication they'll want to eliminate. The words land like ice water. Eliminate. Her voice comes out thin. You mean kill? He doesn't sugarcoat it. Yes. Keisha stands abruptly. Chair scrapes. I'm not part of whatever this is. I'm a waitress. I helped someone. That's it. I know. Minjun stays seated, calm. Which is why I'm here, to offer protection. I don't need protection. I need to be left alone. Unfortunately, that's no longer an option. She glares at him. You don't get to decide that. You're right. He stands, now, slowly, non-threatening. I don't. But reality doesn't care about fairness. You saved my life. They know your face, your name, where you live. Keisha's blood runs cold. How do you know where I live? The same way they do. You're not invisible anymore. The truth of it hits hard. The viral video, the news coverage, the 12 million views. She made herself visible trying to save someone. And now visibility is the danger. What do you want from me? She asks quietly. Nothing. Minjun pulls out a phone, sets it on the table. This is a secure line. If anything happens, anything at all that feels wrong, you call. Someone will answer immediately. I don't want your help. I understand, but take it anyway. He turns to leave, stops, looks back. Miss Langford, I don't know what kind of person I am in your eyes, but I know what kind of person you are. You don't let people die when you can save them. He gestures to the phone. Neither do I. He walks out. Keisha stares at the phone on the table, picks it up. Outside, a car she doesn't recognize parks across the street. The driver watches her through the cafe window and doesn't look away. The attack comes on a Tuesday. Keisha is walking home from the bus stop. Same route she takes every day. 15-minute walk through streets that aren't safe but aren't deadly either. Dusk is falling. Streetlights flicker on one by one. She's thinking about groceries, about Janny's school supply list, about the phone Minjun left that's sitting in her pocket like a stone. She hasn't called it, won't call it. This isn't her problem. The footsteps behind her register too late, fast, deliberate, closing distance. Keisha spins around. 2 men, 20s, moving with purpose. Eyes locked on her. Keisha Langford. She doesn't answer. Starts walking faster. They match her pace. We just want to talk, the second one says. His accent is thick, Russian maybe. About your friend. I don't have any friends. Her hand slides into her pocket, finds the phone Minjun gave her. The Korean man, the one you saved. They're closer now. 10 feet. 8. Keisha's heart hammers. I don't know what you're talking about. Yes, you do. The first man smiles. It doesn't reach his eyes. You're a hero. Everyone knows. 6 feet. Her thumb hovers over the phone's emergency button. What do you want? Just information. Where is he? I don't know. We think you do. He reaches for her arm. Keisha jerks back. Don't touch me. Or what? His hand closes on her wrist, hard. You'll scream? No one's coming. He's right. The street is empty. Houses dark. Traffic distant. She's alone. The second man moves to her other side. blocking escape. This can be easy, he says quietly. Or it can hurt. Your choice. Keisha's finger presses the emergency button. Nothing happens. No sound. No vibration. Just silent transmission. She hopes. I said. The first man's grip tightens. Where is... A car screeches around the corner. Black. Expensive. Moving fast. It stops 10 feet away. Doors fly open. 3 men emerge, moving with military precision. The Russians release Keisha immediately. Back away. Walk away, one of the new arrivals says. His voice is calm. Final. Now. The Russians look at each other, calculate odds, decide survival beats pride. They disappear into shadows. Gone. Keisha stands frozen, heart racing, wrist throbbing where the man grabbed her. One of the men approaches, hands visible, non-threatening. Miss Langford, are you hurt? She can't speak, just shakes her head. We're with Min Jun. He asked us to watch your route. Good thing you pressed the button. The phone. It worked. I didn't ask for this, she whispers. We know, but they would have taken you, or worse. He gestures to the car. We need to get you somewhere safe. I need to go home. My cousin. Already secured. She's safe. Keisha's blood turns to ice. What? Min Jun anticipated this. Your cousin is with a protection detail. She doesn't know. She thinks they're friends of yours checking in. Rage cuts through fear. You had no right. We had no choice. His tone softens. Ms. Langford, the people who tried to kill Min Jun don't leave loose ends. You became a loose end the moment you saved his life. The truth crushes her. This isn't fair. No, it's not. She wants to scream, wants to rewind 4 days and walk past the collapsed man. Let someone else be the hero. But she can't. What's done is done. Where is he? She asks quietly. Min Jun, waiting. He wants to explain everything. Everything? Who he is, what you walked into, why they want you dead. Keisha looks at the empty street where the Russians stood moments ago, looks at her apartment building in the distance, looks at the phone in her hand that saved her life. She climbs into the car because staying visible got her here, and going invisible won't get her out. The car pulls away from the curb, across the city, in a room Keisha can't see. Min Jun watches surveillance footage of the attempted abduction, watches 2 men put hands on the woman who saved him. His expression doesn't change, but his words are steel. Find them. All of them. Choi nods. And when we do, Min Jun's eyes are cold. Make sure they understand the cost of touching her. The safe house is expensive and soulless. High-rise, downtown, windows that don't open, security cameras in every corner. Keisha sits on a leather couch that costs more than her rent. Janae sleeps in the bedroom down the hall, exhausted from fear she doesn't fully understand yet. Min Jun sits across from her. Between them, a glass table holds untouched tea. I'm sorry, he says. Sorry doesn't fix this. Keisha's voice is flat, empty. Sorry doesn't make those men disappear, doesn't make me safe. No, it doesn't. He doesn't look away, but protection does. For how long? A week? A month? Forever? She laughs, bitter. I can't live like this. I have a job, a life, bills. Your bills are handled. Her head snaps up. What? Rent, utilities, medical expenses, everything. He speaks like it's simple. You saved my life. I'm ensuring you have one to return to. Rage floods through her, hot, immediate. You don't get to do that. It's already done. I didn't ask for charity. It's not charity, it's debt. His tone is firm, final. You gave me breath when I had none. Everything else is just paper and numbers. Keisha stands, paces, energy she can't contain. This is exactly what I didn't want. This, she gestures around the safe house. Dependency, obligation, being owned. You're not owned. Then what am I? She spins to face him. A liability, a problem, something you need to contain. You're someone who didn't deserve to get dragged into my world. Minjun stands now, slowly, and I'm trying to fix that. You can't fix it. Those men know my face, know where I live. You said it yourself. I'm a loose end. Then we eliminate the threat. The words hang cold between them. Eliminate. Keisha's voice drops. You mean kill them? Minjun doesn't flinch. If necessary. No. The word comes out hard. Absolute. I didn't save your life so you could take others. Even if they're trying to take yours, I don't care. I won't be the reason someone dies. Silence. Minjun studies her, really looks, like he's seeing something he didn't expect. Most people would prioritize their own survival, he says quietly. I'm not most people. No. Something shifts in his expression. Respect, maybe, or confusion. You're not. He moves to the window, looks out at the city below. Lights spreading like stars fall into earth. There's another option, he says. I can end the war, make peace with the people who want me dead, give them what they want, which is territory, money, power. He turns to face her. Pieces of everything I built. And if you do that, I'm safe. Yes. But you lose. I survive. That's not losing. Keisha searches his face for lies, finds none. Why would you do that? For me? Because you didn't hesitate when I was dying. His voice is soft now, honest. In my world, hesitation is survival. Calculation is currency. You don't act without knowing the cost. He steps closer. But you did. You acted without knowing anything except that someone needed help. That kind of certainty. He pauses. I've never seen it before. It's called being human. No, it's called being extraordinary. Keisha looks away, can't hold his gaze. I just did what anyone should do. But they didn't. You did. Outside, rain starts to fall. Somewhere in the city, deals are being made, territories negotiated, truces formed, and Minjun has to decide if protecting one woman is worth losing everything he built, or if some debts cost more than empires. 2 weeks later, Keisha returns to her apartment. The building looks the same, smells the same, sounds the same, but everything is different. Her rent is paid through the end of the year. Jane's medical expenses covered. A college fund appeared in her cousin's name. Anonymous donor, the bank said. Keisha knows who. She hasn't seen Minjun since that night in the safe house, hasn't heard from him directly, but his presence is everywhere. The security camera installed across the street, the car that follows her bus route at a distance, the way certain people move differently around her now. Aware, watchful, careful. She's protected, but she's not free. The coffee shop is the same one they met in before. She doesn't know why she came, doesn't know what she wants to say, just knows she needs to see him one more time. Minjun walks in at exactly 3 p.m. Still controlled, still deliberate. But something in his posture has changed. Lighter maybe, or just less defensive. He sits across from her without asking. You came, he says. You knew I would. Hoped. Didn't know. Silence settles between them. Not uncomfortable, just heavy with things unsaid. The threats are gone, she says finally. I checked. No more calls. No more cars. No more men following me. Yes. What did you do? What was necessary? He doesn't elaborate. You're safe now, permanently. And what did it cost you? Minjun looks down at his hands, the scarred knuckles, the healed burns. Territory, influence, partnerships I spent years building. He meets her eyes. Everything I owned that they wanted. Keisha's chest tightens. You gave up your empire. I gave up pieces of it, not all. A small smile. I'm still dangerous, just less so. Why? The question sits between them like an open wound. Because you were right, he says quietly. That night in the safe house, you said you wouldn't be the reason someone dies, and I realized. He pauses, weighs words carefully. I've spent 15 years building something at the cost of everything else. Relationships, peace, sleep. He leans forward. But when I was dying on that restaurant floor, none of it mattered. The empire, the power, the control, all of it meant nothing. His voice drops. The only thing that mattered was breath, and you gave me that. Keisha feels tears sting her eyes, blinks them back. I'm not special. You are. He interrupts gently. You're the first person in 15 years who acted without wanting something in return, who saw someone dying and helped without calculating the cost. He stands, pulls something from his pocket, a business card, clean, simple, just a name and number. I'm leaving Los Angeles, he says, starting over somewhere quieter, somewhere I can breathe without watching my back every second. He places the card on the table. If you ever need anything, and I mean anything, call. I'll answer. Minjun, you saved my life, Keisha. Twice now. Once on that floor. Once by reminding me that some things matter more than power. He turns to leave, stops, looks back. For what it's worth. His expression is soft, honest, grateful. Meeting you was the best thing that's happened to me in 15 years. He walks out. The door closes. Keisha sits alone in the cafe, staring at the business card. Picks it up, turns it over in her hands. Outside, rain begins to fall. Somewhere across the city, Minjun climbs into a car that will take him to an airport, to a new life, a quieter one where breath matters more than empire. And as the city lights fade behind him, he realizes he's not sure which mattered more in the end, the empire he lost, or the woman who taught him what saving really means. But for the first time in 15 years, he thinks he knows the answer.